Welcome to Salon Conversations. This is a podcast about saying no. No is a full sentence, and sometimes that's all you need to say is no. So I find that it's similar with boundaries, saying the word no, but I think a lot of people struggle with the word no. Like they'll say no, but then they feel they have to justify why. And that's a really interesting place to be. Why do you have to justify it? Why can't you just say no? Would you like to go to the movies with me? No. No, thank you. You go, that's a bit weird. Why doesn't she say no? Because I'm busy or I've seen the movie or whatever. Um, can I have Saturday off? No. They would look at you like, why? Like it's really difficult to not give an explanation. So if we start with why would we want to do this? Why would we want to be able to feel the power in ourselves that says no? Like what comes from that? What joy would you get from that? It's going to chop out a lot of time wasting. No, blah, 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 blah. Nope, nope. And I think to me, no is harder to say than nope, nope. It's like I've got a funny bouncy nope. Would you like to come? Do you want to do this with me? Do you want to come? Nope. Nope. No, 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 no. So it's still one word, but it's not so no, not so hard, is it? But the outcome's the same. So I think saying no has to be rehearsed. Like if you were going to be in a play, you'd have to rehearse the words. You'd have to. So I think you need to rehearse saying no. So think about some of the times when you've been asked and you just want to say no, but you don't, right? So it might be, can someone come in late to work? Can someone leave early to work? Can I bring my child in tomorrow? Lordy, my puppy, whatever. Like, yeah, can I wear these sneakers? No, no. Like I feel like at home with our children, we're probably much easier to say no, I think. No, no, no. That's how I would have responded to one of my kids asking me something that they know the rules is no. So no. Um, when someone asks you something that you think they're unclear of and you don't believe it's clear, then it's harder to say no. So, for example, like I remember one of my boys, they were funny little buggers. They wanted to come inside to get something and they had their footy boots on and they were covered in mud and they didn't want to take off their footy boots, but they wanted to get what they wanted to get. And I said, I'll get it. And they said, you don't know where to look for it, Mum. You can't get it. And I said, well, you can't come in with your boots. No, 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 no. Next thing I look around, this is my son, this one, and he's on his knees and he's crawled in to get it. And I thought, wow, okay, that's fine. Now, you can imagine mud just dropped off his boots, but I just thought, oh, I'll give him points for trying, right? But I think when someone asks you, can I do this? And you think, well, this is like maybe a teenager's asking you to do something for the first time. And you think, no, you can't go out with him. He's 25. Then you will want to explain it. Whereas if they ask you, can I do this, when they've asked you the day before, then no, like, no, we've had this discussion. No, no, still no. It was no yesterday and still no today. So I think when you don't pre-frame the behaviour that you want in your salons and then people come and ask you, they're shifty. They will ask you at a time when you're in a good mood. They will ask you when you're busy, when you're on the phone. I just do it to my mother all the time. I'd say, I asked you, you're on the phone to Auntie Jean. And she goes, well, don't ask me when I'm on the phone. I think, well, no, that's the best time to ask you. You're not concentrating. So don't worry, not everyone's as shifty as me, but they know when to ask you. When you're in a great mood, they're going to ask you, right? And they're not going to ask you when you're not in a good mood. So you have to understand that if that's the case, then you're not steady on your nose. You're a bit up and down about your nose, and I think that's not good, right? So another skill that I think is really important to say, to turn it around and say, what do you think I'm going to say? right? I used to do that to the kids all the time. Mum, can I, blah, blah, and I go, what do you think? What do you think your mother's going to say to that one? And then straight away they go into the defense mode. So in other words, I know you're going to say no, but this is why I think it's really important that I don't go to bed at the normal time, that I stay up and watch this movie. No, no, right? So I really do believe that you have to practice saying no. And it's not easy to say no because some things will really pull on your heartstring. Like, if you think about, say the price of something is $80 and someone wants a discount, like often that can make people feel really uncomfortable. They go, is that your best price? And you go, yes. Or can you do it for any less than that? No. No. Like you don't go, no. Like that's not a very good place. But if you say, can you do it for less than that? Is it $80 or can you do it a bit cheaper? And you'd say, no, that's the price. You just say it gently and slowly like that. You don't go, no, that's the price. Well, you can, but I just think, no, just lower your voice. When it's really important, you're slow and you're low. And that goes, it's very cutting. My husband taught me that, the school teacher. He goes, if you're really serious, he goes, you lean in closer and just say it slowly. I thought, oh, wow, that's good. Whereas me, the fishmonger, yelling, get down, get down, get down. He said, don't yell. I don't care. You yell. You go over there and you look them in the eye and you say, I told you not to be on that fence. Now get down. Get down. Right? So there's a lot of tone in your voice. There's a lot of things that are said really differently and has a lot of power in the way that you say it. And no is one of those things. No, 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 no. This is the one word, So there's really a lot of power in the tonality of how you deliver something. But I think you have to think about explaining to people what the changes will be. It's really important that you do, right? But you've also got to think about like there's no remorse and there's yes remorse. So sometimes you could say no and you think, why did I say no? Why did I say yes? Right. So always pop a pause in there. I always think if you're slightly not sure, can I get back to you on that one? Like it's not something we're very good at as hairdressers in particular. But just because someone asks you for something doesn't mean you have to deliver it. So putting a pause in is a really good idea. The same when, you're buying clothes. My mum always taught me that if you're not sure, then go around the block and you can always come back tomorrow. And quite often I leave a store and go, yeah, I don't think I need it. You just cool down, right? And so saying no can be a bit like that too. If you say no or yes too quickly, you can sometimes wish you didn't. And so I think very good strategy to put a pause in. You go, you know what, can you just leave that with me? Just leave that with me for a minute. Now, if it's something pretty pressing, you'll just process it the whole time. It's unlikely that you'll forget it and come back to it. And if you do, then you've got to be a bit mindful of that because it tells the person that you're kind of not that interested. It's not that big a deal to you. And quite often it'll be a damn big deal for her if she's asking you for something like time off and she's going to be hot on your tail. So if you ever pause somebody, please put it on a post-it note or somewhere because it's rude to not come back to it. I think if you paused it, you need to be able to say, can I talk about this tomorrow at 9 o'clock? Can you remind me when I come in the morning and I'll give you an answer on that? So now you've put it back on them, but you haven't gone, oh, whatever, and chucked that over your shoulder because it might not be important to you, but it's important to them. And it's really important to be really interested in the people that work with you, really important. So if you're going to put a pause on it, put a when you'll come back to it. And it might only be in an hour. Just go, you know what, I'm going to lunch. Can you just pause on that? And when I come back from lunch, can you ask me again then, please? And then you've put it on them to ask you again. So if they didn't ask you, then that's on them. But if you come back and you say, and I'll tell you then, and they don't, you forget, and then they're staring at you, and that would really piss someone off. So if you're going to pause on it, make sure we're clear who's coming back to who for the final result. That's really important. And saying no, I think it's just you flexing a boundary. Like you need to know what they are first, what your boundaries are, so that you can flex them. And there's another episode on boundaries. But saying no is the greatest thing you can do for your business. Like, I think the amount of times that I've wasted a lot of time with a salon owner because they've got the wrong team member and they just didn't say no when they should have said no. And they're trying to massage this square into a circle or this triangle into a square. It's just not a square, mate. It's just not a triangle. It's just not a circle. It is what it is, and you need to accept it. And I think your gut tells you when you should be saying no, and then you're trying to just keep going. I think, oh, why? Just say no. This person isn't a good fit, right? And have a conversation about what you'd expect to see. And if you don't see them in this period of time, I think the best thing we can do is find different places for us to work, meaning her, not you, right? So it's the hardest thing for me to watch, and I can't say to people, oh, why are you doing that? Because I don't know. And what often happens is you're not showing up as a leader you should be, and therefore you're not getting the result out of the person. So it's not really a no, it's a knowing that you should be really clear with where you're going. But it's all a bit wishy-washy, And so I think, they really step it up and the team member steps up. It happens all the time. And then they go, wow, when I talked to her, she said this. When I talked to her, she said that. And I go, no shit. Like, get involved, be interested. They're spending most of their day with you. You need to be interested in them. And you just can't not, right? You'll get so much more out of a person if you be vulnerable, if you lean in, if you make it really clear where your no is, make it really clear where your yes is, right? Because I think everybody blocks their own business. I block mine and you block yours, right? And you need someone to go, no, you're not doing it like that, Lisa. No, we agreed. No. You think, okay. And they'll think, good on you. Good on you for saying no to me, because I'm not easy to say no to. Good on you. No, well done. And then I go, love this. Whereas people that are wishy-washy just get wishy-washy results. But people who are really clear get really clear results. And people who are clear know when to say yes, and they know when to say no, and they know when to say, I'll get back to you on that. That's really the 3 doorways. No, yes, leave it with me. And you come back. And if you can learn to be really comfortable with your no, and also know that you're going to say some no's when you shouldn't have, and you're going to say some yes when you shouldn't have, that's okay. But what you do is you be happy with the decision that you made at the time, and you make it work. So one of the things that is really clear now, that so many people struggle with anxiety. So anxiety is about the future. Depression is about the past, right? So if someone feels anxious, it's not about the past. If you're feeling anxious, it's about the unknown and what you don't know and what you're uncertain about and what if this happens and what if that's a horrible, crippling feeling, right? And I've never had it in such doses that I've seen some people have. And it's just horrific, all right? So I've had it enough to go. It's just horrible. It almost hurts behind my eyes. It's so horrible. And they say that the reason, a big part of it is that we don't sit with uncertainty anymore, right? So we don't say, I don't know. Hang on, where's my iPad? I'll tell you. Hang on, where's me? And everything's there. Like, even if you go back to the way we used to do our bookkeeping, you had to go and look at the bookkeeping to give you an answer. What's my wage? I don't know. Hang on, I'll look it up. There it is, M0. Okay. How old is Goldie Hawn? Hang on. There, that's how old she is. And so there's not much time for uncertainty. So we know everything and we know it fast. And so when you're uncertain about things, that's uncomfortable, right? So if you say no to someone and you're uncertain if they're going to be happy with you, you don't like that feeling. So you say yes and you let them be happy. But that's not a good feeling either. So saying no to someone is risky, because if you say no to people and they don't like it, they can leave. And quite often you don't like that because that's uncertain. But people leave anyway. So the only thing you can be certain about is you know what you need and you know who you are and you know where you're going. And when you feel that way, you'll say no. No, sorry. It doesn't work like that. We can't do that. I have to say no to that. Just let it go. And it takes time. It takes really time to be comfortable with no. And it's a really cool place to be. Like really cool. Super. And it's a practice. Like being happy, like being grateful. Saying no is a practice. It's a muscle. And you've got to flex it. So think about from now, the next couple of days, where have you said no? That you could have just said, nope, nope, nope. Like, try not to do the big long circus story. Just, no, I'm really sorry, but I just don't feel like going. Now wait. That's another thing we struggle with, the pause. Just wait. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with silence. Nothing. It's a good thing. It means that people can think in peace. So don't be worried about the silence, right? And get comfortable with saying no. It's a damn good word. It's a ripper. Hopefully you learned something today and you're a little bit more comfortable with just flexing that no muscle. You can do it. I know you can. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.